Hi, welcome to the AIScento Podcast. I'm John Okoro. Today, we are talking about something that thousands of Agile professionals are wrestling with right now. For more than 20 years, Agile coaches, Scrum Masters, transformation leaders, and consultants helped organizations to navigate digital transformation. But now AI is changing the landscape. Some people are wondering whether their skills are still relevant. Others are trying to figure out how to evolve. My guest today has actually made that journey herself. Marina Alex spent years in the Agile transformation world before successfully pivoting to AI consulting, modern management, and helping others to make similar transitions through the Sway Academy. Today, we're going to talk about that journey look like and also what lessons she learned and how Agile professionals can remain valuable in the AI era. Welcome to the AIScento Podcast, Marina.
Hey, John. Hey, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. I would be happy to share my journey with you.
Let's start with your own story. Many people know you from the Agile community, but today you're focused on AI and modern management and consulting and helping others to reinvent themselves. Tell us a bit about that journey.
hmm I'm going to tell you a story, guys. And if you recognize yourself, please comment this podcast because it's interesting how many people have the same journey. More than 14 years, I was an Agile coach and I worked with Enterprise. My niche was Agile in sales. I built my brand in Agile in sales. You can Google my name, right? I did a lot around this brand. And in 2022, I found myself that I couldn't find any clients. And by the way, before I became an Agile coach, I was executive in sales. I have very strong foundation of sales. And even with this foundation, I couldn't find any clients for more than 1 year and a half. I spent all my savings. I sold my stocks and I still crying about that. And it was very, very tough time because I was in the United States as a single mom and I found myself with $12 in my bank account and I couldn't pay rent. And it was very, very scared, right? And before I made easily 400,000 per year, right? It was a huge difference. And what's happened that I realized that, okay, something is happening with agile industry and big companies, they don't need me anymore, right? And I built my brand for years and years as an agile coach for sales, right? It was my identity. And suddenly nobody cared about my service and it was super painful. And then because I didn't have another choice, I needed to adapt. And I had two paths. Okay, the first one to find a job, to be an executive or in sales and marketing or project manager, whatever, right? And another to work for yourself and find another way how to create income. And I choose the second path, and I started work with local companies. I based in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I started help them with modern management and AI when AI came in the world. This is the way how I make money, and right now I make more money than I was as an agile coach before 2022.
Marina,
It's
what
my
made you realize that Agile alone was no longer enough? When did you come to that realization?
I think my bank account. Because again, nobody wanted me anymore. And before it was line from clients. I didn't need to sell myself because, first of all, I was almost the first one in the world, and clients came to me. And suddenly, nobody came to me. And I pushed and I tried to sell Agile, and nobody cared about that anymore. Looking back right now, I think my mistake was that I was very stubborn. I was fighting for my old identity as an agile coach, even if the world changed dramatically. This is why it was very expensive because I spent all my savings and I sold my stocks, right? But I just realized that something changed in the industry, right? And it was the path. Like I have to adapt, right? But I want to do what I love. I still do what I love, right? I still work with companies. I still work with teams and help them with everything what I helped before, plus AI.
And when exactly did AI become part of your professional focus? Was there a moment where it kind of snapped for you that I really need to make this about AI, or was it just kind of a general transition where you kind of, it just kind of ended up going that way?
I don't remember exactly, but I remember that I had a lot of time, right? Because I didn't have any clients, and I started to explore every single day, and I was very curious. First of all, what is that, right? And then I realized, oh my gosh, it's like internet in 1995. And I have to learn it. Other way, as a consultant, I'm not going to find any clients, right? And I don't have any developers, like as a developer background. I'm not developer. I'm not IT expert, right? For me, it was a challenge to learn all this stuff, right? But when I realized that, first of all, nobody understands what is that, right? And businesses will need it desperately. I have to understand it from business perspective, not how to create AI code, right? Or how to be better product owner. How I can help company implement AI in all departments. And I created like in my calendar, I put 2 hours every single day to learn about AI. And I took all information I could. I tested a lot, and then I test on my clients as well.
What opportunities did you see before others saw them? Were there certain things that you saw, what, my gosh, this is going to be really big in this particular area? Was there something along those lines?
John, first of all, in 2022 and in 2023, right, I started adapting before AI. I started work with local small and medium organizations without AI. I was selling my service in this case. It was my income. And then when AI came after that, I added AI to my portfolio of my services, and for sure I doubled my income because everybody crazy about AI. But my first step was to adapt and start, okay, what can I do for local businesses? How can I help them to solve their problems? Because before I worked with enterprise, right? But in enterprise, we had the same leadership problems like they have. That's why it was my like transition. And again, right now, I wouldn't call myself AI expert only. I call myself AI and modern management expert because I do believe that we have to empower people with AI. It's not about just implement AI everywhere, right? People are always first. That's why this is my brand, AI and modern management expert.
What fears did you have making that transition?
Oh my gosh, I had so many. First of all, how can I call myself AI expert if I'm not AI expert, right? What is definition of AI expert, right? Do I have really enough knowledge to call myself like this? This is number one. Number two was, again, right now, because I'm selling AI transformation, right? And it's not only about me, it's about other AI developers. I need to include them in my package. And I've never done anything like this. And now I need to count my profit and everything, right? And there are a lot of fears. And I learn with every single client. Because again, I was focusing on small and medium organizations. More, my clients, they were small, like 15 people, like a couple $1 million revenue. They paid me about 15,000, right? And I had several clients. Now I have several clients, they have 100 employees, and they want me to help them with AI for 1 year. That's why now I'm learning how to create contracts for 12 months. Because before I changed everything and I worked with small businesses and it was like 3 months contracts, right? I always adapting right now, adapting and learning. That's why I had a lot of fears, but again, if you want to be a provider for your family and if you want to really do what you love, you have to adapt. You have to go through those fears. And somebody told me one day that our the best version of ourselves is opposite of side of our fear. That's why if you feel scared, if you have some fear around your journey, it means that it's right path.
Hmm. And what assumptions did you have to let go of to reinvent yourself?
Oh my gosh, it's a good question. First of all, let go my identity, which I have been building for years, for 14 years, right? I built my brand, I built my identity. I thought I will retire with this identity, and suddenly it didn't work, right? That's why I needed to learn how to let it go, how to build a new identity, how explain people in very simple language what I do without Scrum, Agile, Kanban words, right? And before I just hey, I'm an Agile and sales coach. That's it. Now I can't say that, right? I need to explain in very simple, very business language. That's why I would say identity for sure. And yeah, I think it was the biggest challenge.
Okay, let's shift a little bit. Let's talk about now. Um, you've had a front row seat to what's happening in our profession as far as agile digital transformation. A lot of people are doing transformation and change, right? Some agile practitioners seem to be thriving, others seem to be stuck. What's the difference?
First of all, I didn't mention yet, but I created This Way Academy where I help Agile coaches with this transition. To be able to help many Agile coaches, I had at least 200 interviews with Agile coaches. And what I learned that there are two types of Agile coaches, okay? The first one, Agile coach who had 2 days Scrum workshop, and after that wrote Agile coach in their LinkedIn profile, made a lot of money, right? And we're very focusing on frameworks, okay? And they didn't change organization as an organization. They were great in framework implementation, only Scrum or only Kanban, only Safe or only DevOps, like very, very, very focused, right? This is one type of Agile coaches. And unfortunately, what I learned for at least 200 interviews that more than 60% of our Agile industry have this type of Agile coaches, okay? The second type of Agile coaches, they are more changed change experts. Okay, they can see the organization from different angles. They help adapt. They believe that Agile, it's a mindset, it's the culture, right? And then they were very flexible with choosing different tools. Here it can be Kanban, here it can be I don't know, Scrum, whatever, right? But they were very flexible because they were focusing on changing organization and help this company to solve main problems. Okay, that's why, again, everything what I'm going to share today based on my personal experience, right? That's why I don't know how it's going in your guys' life. What I can tell you, if you're an agile coach who really wants to help companies, who really wants to have any tools which will help you to help this organization, and you very adaptable, you have very agile brain, okay, you're going to make a lot of money for next 10 15 years. Okay, I can tell you, and we're going to talk about pricing today. You will have a lot of money, you will do whatever what you love, right? And for sure AI will be part of your service. Okay, unfortunately, the first type of agile coaches, which I mentioned, right, like Scrum Masters who just focus on Scrum, right, it will be tough to adapt because, first of all, they don't want to adapt. And you can see in LinkedIn every day if Agile dead or not. And they just complain for everybody, for marketing, for market, sorry, for managers. They just sitting and complain. And it's very toxic environment, okay? But they don't adapt. And when they see that other agile coaches started adapt and put AI in their LinkedIn, they have a lot of negative comments like who you are to put AI here, right? But we adapt. We put AI. We wrote AI in our LinkedIn because we know that we will deliver great value. We know what we're selling, right? That's why for some, this is what we see right now. Some agile coaches, they're really They're driving Uber after making 300,000 per year, right? And they just don't want to adapt. Some of them, they found a job as a project managers. We have too many project managers right now, unfortunately, right? But again, without AI, they're going to lose their job as well. That's why it depends of personalities. And I think this is what's happened, John, because I think it's our responsibility what's happened with agile industry because we as a community, as an industry, we provided bad value. Okay, we were selling certificates, we were selling frameworks, but we didn't help outside of IT departments to know that they have to be agile to be able to adapt for AI, for everything in the future, right? And we didn't do it. We were focusing on selling our certificates, right? And this is what right now we have as a results. We made it by our own hands, unfortunately.
And I probably know how you're going to answer this based on that. If someone is still introducing themselves as I'm a Scrum Master or I'm an Agile Coach, is that enough in today's market, or do they need a broader value proposition?
Let me tell you a story and then I'll answer for this question. First time when I decided that I want to find clients to pay for my rent, right? And I decided to participate any business events around. And they asked me, oh, who you are? And like, hey, my name is Marina Alex. I'm an Agile coach. And everybody were confused. Like, coach, it's like football. Agile, it's about dogs. Like, no, no. And I realized that, hey, it's not their language, right? They don't understand what I'm talking even about, right? I have to change. I have to adapt. That's why if we always put customer first, right, we should speak in our customer language, right? And it's not IT and it's not agile language anymore. That's why to answer for your question, I did it and I would suggest to do it everybody. You have to rebrand yourself. You have to rewrite your description on your LinkedIn. You have to learn how to explain what you do for 30 seconds without any agile words. Does make sense? And you have to work on your positioning, right? How you position yourself. Because, and another skill is very important here, and not many agile coaches have it. Sell yourself, sell your service, be proactive. Be proactive in marketing, use social media, right? For sure, we didn't do it for a while because we had line of clients, but now this is the way how to you can survive.
And that's a great transition for the Sway Academy. So, especially excited to discuss that. Tell us what Sway Academy is and why you created it.
Okay, the first, what is Sway? I adapted Scrum, Kanban, Agile for businesses, for small and medium businesses. That's why I created a system which helps me with my clients, right? But then when I start publishing in LinkedIn, like, hey guys, stop crying. Agile for SMB, it's the blue ocean. I had 60,000 views in this post and hundreds DMs, right? And people like, hey, help me, what should I do? And I started to teach them, and I created this Way Academy where I teach them how to make this transition from Agile Coach and become AI and modern management expert. And Sway, it's a part like you just need to. It's exactly it's adapted Scrum and Kanban and Agile, but in just different packages, different. It's easy to explain what is that. But I started helping a lot of agile clients, right? It's one of businesses which I wasn't expecting to have. But my main income I have it from my clients every day. That's why now I have a dilemma. Should I continue this way academy? Because my biggest income is from clients, right? But I want to help our agile community for sure, and I will have some cohorts sometimes for sure, but not often.
Okay, so First Way Academy, what problem are you solving? Is there, kind of a specific, this is what it solves?
I think I'm solving the biggest problem. It's income for agile coaches, the way how they can sell their service, right? This is the problem. I had this problem. I solve this problem for myself, and I'm helping to solve it for other people. And for sure, under this problem, okay, how to position yourself, how to sell your service, how to find clients, how to deliver your service, how much to charge, and all this stuff, right? But the biggest problem, how to make money if nobody hire you anymore.
And who is the ideal student for Sway Academy?
Oh my gosh, for sure. It should be Agile Coach number two, which I described today. Somebody who really want to help clients, who really want to help businesses, who really have a mission, not just make money for sure, right? And very like flexible and adaptable, right? If Scrum doesn't work for restaurant, for sure you need to adapt it, right? If you give them real Scrum guide and you will tell them that they must to do everything in Scrum, you will destroy the business, right? You have to adapt. That's why this is the first description. The second one, I think ambitions. Again, I have ambitious. I want to make great money, right? That's why I'm building. I don't want to have a job, right? And just I want to build a business which will generate great money for me and maybe for several generations, right? That's why the second thing, it should be for sure about ambitions. And I think this is two more important things.
Okay. And what gaps did you see in the market? Are there specific ones that you think Sway Academy addresses? I'm guessing part of that would be the struggle that we're seeing among people who are in agile digital transformation, that area. But what gaps did you see that,
I
Sway really aligned to?
John, I think the biggest gap, which I see every single day, that 75% of all businesses in this world, they really want to adapt AI, but they don't know how. They're afraid. They have silos. They have so many problems, and they don't have consultants who can help them not only with AI, who can help them with more flat organization, who can help them be real team with AI, right? Who can help them put customer first? Who can help them be efficient? Who can help them with visualization of everything what is happening, with prioritization, right? There are no. I wouldn't say it this way. I would say I do believe, and it's based on my experience, that good agile coaches, they are the best consultants for AI implementation and transformation because we're experts in transformation, right? Now it's just AI transformation, but it's transformation for business, for culture, for structure, for processes, right? That's why it's a gap in the market that everybody we need someone who can help us, and there are nobody. We have AI IT companies, but they don't solve other problems. They just deliver AI implementation, AI bot, or something else. But it's transformation for business. It's huge transformation for the culture, right? That's why this is the biggest gap. That's why I do believe that in the future, when this way again will be my focus, it will be one of the best providers for business of the best consultants who can help businesses to adapt. This is the goal.
And why are so many professionals struggling to transition into AI?
It's a good question. I think, are you talking about consultants or you're talking about businesses? Because there are two
Professionals
different
in
answers.
general. I mean, so we have a lot of people who are, whether they
Okay.
were consultants, they might have been
Mhm.
coaches, they might have been in some other, professional standing in
Yeah.
organizations. And it seems like there's a lot of, struggle
Mhm. Yeah.
adapting to this.
I can tell you, first of all, people they hate changes. And AI, it's a huge change, right? And they didn't want to change. It's like in 1992, when people started to use internet and send emails, some people they hated to send emails. They wanted to send real mail, right? And they had a lot of resistance. We have exactly the same. This number one, just people don't want to change. Number two, let's explore generation, right? I think 80% of all executives, they're 50 years old plus. This is the generation, right? And older. And for them, it's difficult to adapt any new technologies, right? It's difficult to set up Claude and write everything and prompting. It's different mindset. It's tough. It's difficult for them, right? This is number two. And number three, for sure, it's fear that AI will replace you, right? That's why let's don't use it and let's sabotage in the company, but it's the very weak position. But it's fear as well. That's why if you, as an agile coach, you really want to help people make a lot of money, just start help them, explain them how to use ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, right? Start with very small things. Because John, everybody crazy about AI bots, but really clients, they need to explain what is AI in general. When I have my meetings with founders, they always say, hey, Marina, I don't know what I don't know. When I ask, hey, ask me any questions about AI, and like, I don't know what should I ask. I have no idea what is that, right? This is the reality. And if you can help them, you will be for sure in demand for next 15 years at least.
As a follow-on to that, what skills are employers actually looking for today as we transition into this age of AI?
Which skills like employees okay, the first one for sure, educate, like learn new stuff, right? But John, if you work, and I know you have a huge expertise in that, and you know that executives, leadership teams, they're so busy. They're on meetings all day long. They don't have time to learn. They don't have time to really discover something new which will help them with their email box, right? That's why they don't have time. That's why I would say the first one for sure, skills to learn something new. But I think before you need to be super efficient to find time to learn, because businesses, they don't have time to learn right now. This is it's a big problem, right? The second thing, in one more, I would say, it's so funny, John, because I'm with businesses every single day, right? And they believe that AI, it's like magic. You just put this magic in your company and everything will work and AI will do everything for you. Like, no, AI has a lot of mistakes. You have to put very smart employees, right, who will manage AI, like who will help AI with onboarding, who will teach AI about your mission, about your vision, right? You need onboard AI. You need, it's like a real employee. You need to teach them, right? You need to control them. You need to give feedback. You need to know exactly what you need, what you want to have on the end, right? But people, they believe that it's like magic. And what we have from generation perspective, we have very, very young people, 20 years old. They just use AI, but they don't have real life experience. That's why if ChatGPT told them this is great email, they just send it. Okay, they think, oh wow, looks so good, but it's so AI awful email, and they think that it's great because before they didn't have life experience to send many real emails. Right? This is number one. But it was fast. It was terrible result, but it was fast, and they're happy. Now let's talk about older generation, right? They don't use AI. They have life experience, but they don't want to use AI, right? For some reasons, maybe they don't have time, they don't trust, and in the end, they burn out because they work so hard and they cannot keep up with the speed of young people who use AI even in awful, I'm sorry, way, right? That's why they need someone who will unite generations around common goals and help them with AI. But now it's a huge gap in between boomers, for example, right, and young generation, and they still work together in the same team, plus different cultures. It's a mess right now in businesses. This is why when I speak with founders, and I speak with them every single day, they're so tired, they're so exhausted, they're so unhappy. John, I didn't see so many unhappy executives for how I see for last 2 years. I've never seen anything like this. They're just completely burned out.
It's just overwhelming, maybe everything's
Oh
happening.
yeah, a lot. Yeah, exactly, because it's a mess. Some people use AI in their teams, some don't. They don't have time to understand what is that. Sometimes they just create a rule, don't use any AI. It's just mess, right? But it impacts profit and revenue, right?
Mhm.
And that's why it's interesting time we're living in. It's really very interesting. It's chaos.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know in some of the schools and that they're still telling people, don't use AI. So that's interesting because it's the environment that most students are going to live in basically is going to be AI. So it's interesting that, you still have people who are saying that. But
But
let's
John, they
Mhm.
have just very last thing. But there are so many conflicts right now in the teams because some people use AI, some people don't, and they have conflicts, right? Because people who don't use AI, they really blame people who use AI. Who use AI, they think that you're old. That's why we need to fire you because you don't understand anything. Like there are a lot of conflicts in schools as well.
So an audience question. Imagine someone listening right now. They spent 10 to 20 years in agile project management, delivery leadership, or consulting. Why should they pay attention to what Sway Academy is teaching?
Okay, if you have clients, if you have income which you had before COVID or even more, you shouldn't pay any attention to Sway Academy, right? Sway Academy is solving problems. If you have problems with finding clients, if you have problems with income, if you have problem that you don't want for some reasons to work from 9 to 5 and you want to have your business, in this case, for sure, I would suggest you to pay attention to Sway Academy because I recorded a lot of lessons and I put my blueprint, how I'm making money every day, right? And every week I'm upgrading some lessons because I'm learning something new, right? While we're talking with you right now, I have Dripify campaign automation in my LinkedIn with AI, and I'm sending invitations. I'm booking my calendar. AI is booking my calendar, and next day I will have meetings with local clients, and I will sell my service, right? And I did nothing almost today for that, but AI and automations booking my calendar. That's why to answer for your question, if you want to build your business, right, as an independent consultant, if you want to understand how you can sell AI plus modern management slash agile, for sure, I would suggest you to pay attention. It's a good start.
Okay. Let's shift to modern management playbook here. One thing I find
Mhm.
interesting is AI isn't just changing technology, it's also changing management itself. She talks about how does management need to evolve in an AI-enabled organization?
Oh my gosh, it's my favorite topic because I have a huge desire to replace traditional management. John, do you like traditional management?
Even as an agile practitioner, that was never something very big. It was always something that needed to be kind of transformed and made more adaptive and human.
Yeah, exactly. And I hate it. I'm sorry. I just hate bosses. I hate silos. I hate different KPIs in different departments. Like I hate it, right? And I know that we have a different way to work as a cross-functional team. That's why to answer for your question, okay, we have traditional management, right? Which many of you you learn about that in MBA programs, right? Different departments, different KPIs, a lot of managers in the middle. Modern management, it's about cross-functional teams where people work together around projects, around common goals. They have different KPIs, right? Let me give you an example. It's just a simple example. Um, Restaurant, okay? In restaurant, usually you have people in the kitchen, you have waiters, you have somebody on the bar, right? Somebody's cleaning. Okay, and usually only waiters have percentage from sales, basically tips, right? When you implement modern management, you create cross-functional team altogether around profit or revenue goals. And people work as a team. And if they achieve their goals, they will have bonus as a team. In this case, we will have bonus not for salespeople or waiters. We will have bonus, part of this bonus for people who work on the kitchen, frontline people, housekeepers, for example, right? People on the farm who never had any bonuses and nobody care about them, right? That's why modern management, it's about teamwork, but again, it's not traditional hierarchy with departments. You create flat organization. You better than anybody. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Flat organization, common goals, clear prioritization, feedback from customers, feedback for each other, retrospectives. It's a modern management. And what's happening right now, I know that all agile coaches, we know about cross-functional teams. We create, it's our, what we've done for many years. We created cross-functional teams. But now we have to learn how to create cross-functional teams with humans from different departments plus AI employees. This is the piece of art, right? Because you need to implement AI to this team. And who will do it? They will make great money for sure.
And what management practices are becoming obsolete?
Servant leadership, okay? It's not a practice, but it's the mindset of people who serve other people, not manage them, not give them directions, serve them. Like I teach leadership teams, like, hey, stop giving any directions. Go to your team and ask, how can I serve you better? How can I help you achieve your goals? What can I do for you as a powerful person in this organization? Do you think they ask such questions? It's, oh my gosh, it's so difficult for them. For them, it's an identity shift. You was the boss, you was the most, the biggest, the most, the smartest person in the room, and now you have to be a servant leader who serve people. And because of AI, finally they will have a lot of time. They spend 50% with the customers to understand customer needs and bring this information to the team. That's why I would say servant leadership is for me, it's the biggest one.
Okay, so you're saying that's not becoming obsolete. That's actually becoming more bigger in that case.
No, no, I mean, yes, yes, you're right. It's for me, it's the biggest one. Yeah,
Okay, got it.
yeah.
And I think that one of the interesting things is that in organizations, kind of the everybody's got a little box with standard operating procedures. Those are actually the things that AI is most quickly going to take over because we know that AI, you can very simply feed in, here's a procedure, here's the steps that you do, here's where you sit, here's who you talk to. And if that's all that you're doing, then an AI agent is very likely going to do that very soon.
I wouldn't agree for 100% with
Hmm.
that because, again, somebody needs to create processes. Somebody needs to have this vision of any rules, any processes, any paperwork, like everything, right? It should be here. And then AI will help you achieve it, right? But if you just um, give it to AI without humans, it will be mess, right? Somebody should uh, manage and control. Manage, and it's not the best words, but somebody should manage AI. AI is not going to do by itself anything for you. You need to give direction, you need to check results, you need to give feedback, redo, rework, update, right? And today you create one rule and tomorrow it's old. You need to change it. How AI will know about that? Because AI doesn't see humans who don't follow those rules anymore. That's why I think if you create something, if you have vision and you use AI as a personal assistant to achieve your goals, in this case, it will work, right? Nobody will replace you, right? But if you do something, again, I don't know even what, uh, I don't know what AI can replace dramatically, completely, right? If you did something without thinking, maybe, I don't know.
So I think adding to what you said there, to me, I'm kind of thinking of the least common denominator, which in much of digital transformation and kind of coaching over the years is what I've seen that, right? If you think of the least common denominator, the right way was to work with management, become servant leaders, and look at how the organization should work, and be adaptive, and those sorts of things. But usually, the least common denominator was get an agile tool, use a framework, and then put some KPIs as to how many people are adopting it, right? So I agree with you that it's not the right thing just to give an AI agent, okay, let it just run the procedures, but that probably is also the least common denominator where people go, oh, well, we can just give the agent, here's a procedure, let it run. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's good. I'm just saying that's a tendency that I've seen over,
Yeah.
the years of
Yeah, you're right.
transformation.
Yes, yes. Here, yes, I'm with you. Yeah. But again, for sure, like what's happening right now, many big organizations, they laid off a lot of people. Just, I don't know, for fun. I don't know. Like the AI even uh, didn't come to such organizations. That's why we can't say that they start use AI. This is why they laid off everybody. No, they just laid off just for any like just because, right? And it's bad. Like thousands and thousands people were laid off, right? And like why? Still don't understand. But again, I do believe in humans with AI. I don't believe that AI will do everything without humans. I don't. We will see. Maybe I will change my position in 99 when I will be 99 years. You never know.
What practices are becoming more important, do you think?
Practice, what do you
So
mean?
kind of practices in the business, practices in the management in the organization, from a modern management perspective, what practices should people be are becoming more important?
I think again, it depends which practices. It depends. For sure, I think we have a gap in the world of replacement for traditional management and practice. Like, what should we use? Like, right? It's not clear. We don't have a clear direction. That's why every organization they will create something the best practice for them. That's why, to be honest, I don't know. Hopefully Sway, we will see.
Hmm.
If I make it popular around the world, hopefully they will use Sway. We will see. But again, I don't want everybody to use Sway like they just Sway and nothing else. No, you need to adapt. You need to do the best for your organization, right?
And let's talk about practical AI for Agile professionals now. So we're gonna kind of geek out a little bit on Agile terminology. So some people may not follow this, but we're gonna just we have a lot of audience who are in this space. So um, getting practical. Imagine we have Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, product owners, RTEs, program managers, transformation leaders listening today. What should they be doing over the next 6 months?
I'm not sure if I will be very like I will share very valuable advices because again, I'm not a Scrum Master, I'm not a product owner, and I'm not Agile Coach. That's why I don't know, right? Because I don't know what they can use, what they can't. For example, me, right? Um, for sure, you have to understand general, like okay, what is AI in general? For example, like I use Claude a lot, right? I use Claude for everything. I have automations, right? I have like Claude and other like automations. They're checking my emails. They're helping me with my prioritizations. I have AI which helping me lose weight, right? And checking everything what I eat and give me everyday feedback, right? That's why it depends of the organization. It depends of your needs. But I think the biggest, what you need to do next 6 months, you should understand main problems and find AI as a solution. Okay? Because AI, it's not, sorry, AI, it's not just, okay, let's implement AI. No, you have to understand which problems do you have, what kind of problems your team has, what kind of KPIs your management have, and help them to achieve them by using different AI.
And what AI tools should they learn? And obviously, there's a huge range, but any tools that they should really, you think, focus on?
You will cut it, right? Let's ask this question again. You'll cut it.
So for the tools, right? You mentioned Claude. ChatGPT. Are there specific tools they should be learning, or should they just kind of open student to everything that's kind of coming out in the AI space? Or how would you recommend there?
For example, me, I use about 50 different AIs. Okay, it depends of their goal of my task, what I need to do. For sure, you have to be very good in ChatGPT. Okay, or sorry, ChatGPT, Claude. You have to be very, very good in Claude. You have to know co-work, right? How to create projects, everything. Because right now, while we're talking with you, Claude is the strongest AI solution. But after a couple of weeks, it can be ChatGPT again because ChatGPT was strong enough in the beginning, right? I create all pictures in ChatGPT, but all my management is very deeply in all my businesses in Claude, right? But you have to understand what is in Google, in Gemini, everywhere is happening. That's why you should always tracking almost every day, every week, main AI solutions like ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, and know exactly what they do well and what is their weakest parts and what is their strongest parts. That's why here you have to be expert, okay? Then, based on your team, for example, right? I create a lot of videos. I create a lot of pictures. I have several AIs, which helps me with my video visualization, with my social media production, with everything, right? I use it a lot. I'm writing ebooks, and I have another AI for that as well, right? There are several solutions. For example, when I go to the meetings, like live meetings in the offices, I have not an AI which transcript everything and then send it to Claude, and after that, Claude creates proposals, right? That's why there are so many, many, many millions of AI solutions, and they're very small everywhere, right? But when you have a vision, what you're doing, why you're doing that, after that, you can find good solutions.
And following up on that, how are you personally using AI?
Oh my gosh, I use AI for everything. For example, John, every day I walk 11,000 steps. It's my goal. When I'm walking, before I was listening ebooks. I don't listen ebooks anymore. I'm talking with Claude. I'm asking questions. I have my business meetings with Claude, and it's the conversation back and forward, right? For example, if I see beautiful butterfly and a bird, and I want to know what is the name, I take a picture in my chat GPT and ask, "What is this bird? Tell me about this bird." I have AI which really track all my food. I take pictures of everything what I eat, and it scan every nutrition and tells me where I am and what I do. This is my top. For sure, I have a lot of, as I mentioned, for pictures, for visualization. I have a lot of that. But again, I think if you ask me from percentage perspective, Claude is my favorite. I have bought in my phone, and I like, hey, please create a meeting with John tomorrow at 12, and it will do it, right? Please check my emails, and again, it checks all my emails and tells me where is my priority and what I need to do, and really manage my calendar, right? And but it built this bot has been built on Claude. But
Nice.
again, if I will see that ChatGPT or something else is much better, I will move to another AI, right? Because for them, they're fighting with each other,
Mhm.
right? The most powerful will be, we
Right.
never know which one. Right now, it's Claude.
And what skills should people invest in now? So, as we're talking about people who are kind of in those different agile and digital transformation practices and doing that as a career, what skills should they be investing in? Let's say they have limited time, right? They're only going to be
Yeah.
able to spend a little bit investing in new skills.
Change management, right? But it will be number three because number one will be marketing and sales. Number one, by prioritization. Number one, marketing and sales. Even if you have full-time job, you can be laid off tomorrow. That's why you always have to be proactive. You have to really use some sales and marketing techniques even if you have full-time job. If your business like mine, independent consulting, right? In this case, for sure, sales and marketing, it's just even if you're super good in AI, but you can't sell yourself. Like I have several contractors in my business, right? AI developers. They're super deep introverts. They can't sell themselves. I'm selling them, right? Um, but it's good that they know about AI. That's why I'm selling them, right? But again, sales marketing is number one. Number two is AI for sure. What is happening? Like yesterday, we have Claude 4.8, 4.8. What is the difference between 4 or 4.7? What it can do? You always should scan what is happening on the market with AI and test it and learn it. I hate IT. Okay, John, you know me. I'm not IT person at all. But you know what? I'm always testing different AIs just because I want to understand them, right? I'm not going to build bots for anybody. It's not my income, but I build for myself to understand how does it work, right? Now I can sell it with confidence, but I build it. If I can build it, everybody can build it, right? That's why AI will be number two. And number three, it's change management, change mindset, be adaptable as a person, as a business, as a professional, and help with those things to everybody, because change is difficult for everybody, right? And if you have those three skills, I'm not going to worry about your future for sure.
And how are your clients using AI? So, obviously you're, selling to and consulting with many clients. How are they using AI? Are they just using it to automate their emails? Are they, using it for more?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Let me start with funny story and then I will tell you an average. Okay. Funny story. I worked with local farm. It's a big farm, and people who work with horses, they never use any technologies, right? And we had a workshop for them, and they had a lot of resistance. They had so much resistance. It was pretty tough workshop, okay? But after maybe 3 weeks, they called me as a team. We created cross-functional teams there. They called me and I was in a microphone and like, Marina, do you know what's happening? Like, oh my gosh, somebody died. What's happened? Like, Marina, our big, very expensive tractor was broken, and we decided to call somebody who will check it, and it was $1,500. And then we decided, oh my gosh, Marina taught us about AI, let's do it. They wrote a great prompt. They took all pictures, they put all history, and they fixed this tractor, and they saved 1,500. Okay, they were absolutely happy. Now they really use AI if something happened with the horse, or how they can create some automatization, like just add some efficiency. Okay, this is just funny story. But in general, like I think 80% of my clients right now, I help them create personal assistants in executive level, in leadership level, where personal assistant really manage all their projects, right? For example, if they use Claude, I teach them how to create projects, how to create description for the project, how to create rules for this project, right? How to really unite everything what you're doing and with Claude. For example, in my case, I do it with my clients as well, right? And another funny story. I created rules in the project on my Claude business project to help me be focused on revenue only. And if I am unfocused, to tell me directly. It's a rule. Okay, I taught how Claude should communicate with me. Okay. And one day I decided we moved to another house, and I decided, I would love to have organic eggs. Maybe we should have chicken and just a couple chickens, and they will create some eggs and it will be organic. And I asked Claude, like, hey, in different chat, by the way, like, hey, Claude, tell me how much it will be to build everything for chickens. I'm thinking to have eggs, blah, blah, blah. And Claude told me, okay, I quote, I'm not going to help you with this idea because it's distraction from your revenue goals. You will spend a lot of time, like this is like 1 hour at least per day, per year with the chicken. It will be distraction from revenue. I'm not going to help you with that. And I was like, what? What is that? Right? You're my slave. I'm teasing. I don't want to be killed by AI in the future. Like what? But it was my how I taught my Claude helped me be super efficient because I always have a lot of ideas. And now I have a personal assistant and I help leadership teams to have this personal assistant who helps them be super focused, super efficient, and help you with prioritization. For example, me, I have automation, and every morning when I open my computer, I have my personal assistant who helps me to understand, okay, this is your priority, this is what you need to do. And for example, today I was preparing for this podcast, right? And AI reminded me that we're going to record this podcast and gave me all information about you, about potential topics, and found information from our previous Zoom where we were prepared, right? And I had everything. I just read it and I show up. It saved me at least 1 hour, right? But it does with every single client. Like when I know that I have many meetings right now, I'm selling actively my service, right? And I have a almost folder with all information I need before the meeting. And sometimes on the meeting, I share this information with my potential clients and they shocked, like, where did you find this information? Like AI, right? Like, okay, we want to buy it. Yeah. But again, to answer for your question, it's a personal assistance for leadership teams. It's 80% of my portfolio right now from sales.
And what do you think AI can do better than we can? Because you're talking about kind of the combination of human and AI, right? And what should humans never stop doing? What is the balance there?
Never stop believe in yourself. Never stop believe that you're smarter than AI. Like yes, AI like much okay, let me put this way. I do believe that AI has more information than me. 100%. And English is better than mine, for sure. But I have experience, I have creativity, I have something that AI doesn't. That's why I want everybody, every humans believe in themselves. Like, hey, AI is helper, AI is assistant, but I'm smart. I'm a creative. I know exactly what my company needs, right? Because again, I worked a lot. John, I worked a lot with AI every day, right? And I can tell you, when I have a brainstorm with my several AIs, right, and they give me ideas, I'm the boss. I choose which idea we're going to implement. Even if they, my AI, like, hey, I do believe this idea should be better because X, Y, Z. No, if I don't believe that it's true, I will choose another idea. That's why believe in yourself more than in AI because people right now they're really afraid, oh my gosh, AI is more better and they trust AI for 100%. And it's this is why we have so much so bad information everywhere, right? Because people just published it, right? They didn't believe that their original ideas are much better.
And AI hallucinates a lot too. So sometimes it will actually say things that
Yeah.
are completely wildly inaccurate. So yeah,
Yeah, a
watch
lot of
it.
mistakes. Again, a lot of it. Just you have to always put yourself first. You're over than AI, right? And
Mhm.
nobody will replace you if you have creative ideas. And I think, John, another thing, I think what's happening right now, because everybody publish beautiful pictures, right? Generated by AI, beautiful text with no mistakes, right? You have to be opposite. For example, me, I started publish pictures with no makeup, with some mistakes, because everybody, oh my gosh, she doesn't have, like, she's real. Wow. I have more attention for some very like funny stuff, right? Than perfect picture, perfect text. People want to see real. They don't they see AI and AI is perfect, right? But they want to see reality, real people, real pictures, right? And I want everybody be themselves, be unique. Don't be like everybody. I never ask AI write a post for me. Never. I always write a post and ask, check my English, right? That's it. Again, I have a good prompt for that and I taught how to do it. It's not just check my English, but it's always me and my identity because I love myself. And I think the last advice for everybody, I think success starts from self-love. When you love yourself, when you believe in yourself. Without that, when I was sitting in 2022, when I was sitting on the floor and just crying because I didn't believe in myself, because I thought that I was a huge failure, right? It didn't help me. It just destroyed me even more and put me even in better, worse situation because I just didn't believe in myself. I didn't see that it was market. I thought it's something wrong with me, right? And it shouldn't be this way. You should always believe in yourself.
Great advice. Let's talk now a bit about the future of consulting. So you've been both Enterprise Agile Coach, and now an AI consultant. How do you think consulting changes over the next 5 years?
Uh, I would say, yes, 5 or 7 years. I do believe that small and medium businesses, they will be more successful because for them right now, it's easy to achieve success. That's why it's the blue ocean where they will looking for consultants. Because before consultants, they worked with enterprise. It's bigger check, it's a more secure contract, right? Now it will be small and medium businesses. That's why as a future, as a consultants, we have to learn how to change our long-term expensive contracts for smaller, right? You, for example, me, I make more money than I worked with executives, right? That's why if you work with small and medium businesses, it doesn't mean you will make less money. That's why in the future, they will hire a lot of consultants, right? And many executives, they will be laid off and they will become consultants for small and medium businesses. This is number one. For sure, businesses, they will check their problems and questions with ChatGPT or Claude before they will call anybody from humans perspective. And many problems they will solve by themselves without us. We should know that, right? For example, I had a question. I wanted to take my cats to a doctor, right, to vet, but then AI helped me and we fix it, right? It doesn't mean that you need to trust AI more than doctors, but in my case, we didn't drive. We fixed it. Just was a simple thing, but we didn't pay for to a doctor, right? And that's why many businesses they will use AI as consultants before they will hire. That's why, as a summary, they will hire consultants who can solve complex problems, not only one, right? Many problems at the same time: culture, structure, processes, AI implementation, and put customer first, right? If you can solve all five, you will have a future. Yeah, this is what I see.
And do you believe that one consultant equipped with AI can now deliver what previously required an entire team?
Say it again.
So in consulting now, do you think that, for example, there was like, I think McKinsey, there was an example where people showed that, McKinsey, obviously their model for strategy consulting is doing like the engagement over a few months and, the big team comes in, does a big report, and someone was showing how AI kind of could generate the same report in like an afternoon or something like that, right? Do you think that one consultant equipped with AI is now going to kind of replace the whole kind of team consulting or that sort of thing? Or I don't know. What do you think there?
I can tell you right now, I have more requests for live coaching, like not live coaching, like real coaching, not online, right? Be with the team in the room, run live workshop with them than before. Because again, humans wants to communicate with humans. For sure, consultants with AI will replace consultants without AI. Because, for example, today is Monday, I sent 4 proposals for 20 pages each. Can I do it by myself? With my English is my second language? No, but I will tell you more. Some of them, they were in 3 languages. because they had different locations in different countries, right? I translated. I did it for half of the day, right? I'm super efficient, right? And for sure, without AI, I couldn't do it. That's why I, it's like a fear, like will AI replace consulting? No, no, I have so many questions right now, and most of them it's about AI, right? How to implement AI. AI can't help people to teach them how to use AI. Anyway, yeah, it was my long answer.
Okay, good. So now we're going to go into a rapid fire question round, and this is just whatever the first thing is that comes to your mind as a response. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. Best career decision you've made.
Quit my enterprise job.
Biggest lesson from Agile.
Agile is a mind. It's a mindset. It's a common sense. It's never die.
Biggest lesson from AI.
It's the best thing ever had happened with me in my life. But you need
One,
to control and check. It has a lot of mistakes. Don't trust it for 100% for sure.
okay. The human in the loop we talk about. Okay.
Mhm.
One AI tool that everyone should try.
Claude,
One skill that won't be automated.
love, trust, servant leadership. Yeah, everything about emotions never replaced. Energy. Mhm. It's not a skill, but um, I think critical mindset and making decisions never be replaced by AI.
Most exciting thing happening in modern management.
When you empower frontline people who never had attention, like nurses or housekeepers, waiters, people in the kitchen, when you empower them, when you trust them, when you help them to give them freedom to make decisions, my gosh, it's the best thing ever I ever made in my life. Because before nobody noticed them.
The most common mistake that professionals make when trying to reinvent themselves.
I would say when you have a huge ego, ego stops us from learning something new. Ego stops us from asking advices. Ego stops us to move forward.
And what are you most excited about with Sway Academy?
It will help me achieve my mission to replace traditional management around the world. If I empower and I will help and I will teach agile coaches and other business consultants how to sell our idea about modern management to business, we will all together will replace traditional management.
Okay. So, Marina, I love about your story is that it's not theoretical, very real, very relatable, that people can really understand something that you've gone through and a lot of people are going through now. You successfully navigated the exact transition that many professionals are facing right now. And you moved from enterprise agile coaching to AI consulting and modern management and building Sway Academy to help others do the same. It's a powerful example of what continuous learning and reinvention looks like. Before we wrap up, where can people connect with you and learn more about Sway Academy?
LinkedIn is my best friend. LinkedIn, just find me, tell me, hey, Marina, I just finished listening this podcast, and ask any questions, and I will try to help you. I always try to answer, and I answer by myself. Okay, I always check my LinkedIn.
Great. Thanks, Marina, so much. It's been a great episode, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy and learn a lot from it, and hopefully reach out as well to learn more from you and also about Sway Academy. So thanks for joining us, and thanks everyone for joining us on AIScento. Until next time.